What does life depend on? A consensus, a social compact, a social contract between all of us who form one society, that we shall make a joint collective efforts for our common good. And many societies have tried many ways to get the maximum benefit for the maximum number of people. And each has its own variation of certain basic formulas or formulae. And here we have an opposition still parroting these words: the compassionate society, free medical services, cheaper PUB bills, cheaper bus fares. Who pays? Who creates wealth? Look at the buildings around you. Look at the stock market. It's bouncing up. Let me tell you how to bring it down. Have a couple of really good riots, shake political confidence. You got on the one hand the open free market system in America. You have on the other hand, exact opposite, the closed control command economy of the Soviet Union, communist Russia. The Chinese tried the communist model with their own modifications, and it's failed. And they have admitted that it's failed. And they are trying to pick up the same competitive spirit between workers, between different enterprises, which they notice in Hong Kong. So they have opened a new town on the border with Hong Kong called Sam Chun. And they are inducing Hong Kong entrepreneurs to go and create employment. And Dr. Lee Siew Cho and Mr. Jayaratnam talk as if these things have never happened. They haven't learned. Deng Xiaoping is a great man. He fought a great revolution. He saw the product of that revolution turn sour. He was fortunate to live long enough, and he had the courage to say, no, we change course. Let's learn. Let's stop trying to do everything by ourselves. So they started importing and buying Boeing 707s. So they bought Tridents instead of trying to manufacture their own aircraft. Eventually they will, but it will take 2, maybe 3 generations. That's how we succeeded, because we have open minds, common sense, a lot of analysis, careful weighing of the odds, make a firm decision, monitor it, implement it, modify as it goes wrong. Abandon if it is no good. But often, and I say this more out of relief than out of pride, often, 8 times out of 10, we have been right. We've made mistakes. We put money in UPOC, in Jurong, second-hand machinery. We were young then. We were new in the game. They sold us second-hand machinery. We didn't know. We lost money. We wrote it off. But we learned. Mr. Jayaratnam says we are obsessed with profits. I said, yes. That's how Singapore survives. We have no profit. Who pays for all this? You make profit into a dirty word, and Singapore dies. But believe you me, the fact that this education has gone on for 20 years doesn't mean that a new generation will automatically get that education. You have to transmit that knowledge. Human beings are not like computers. You know, you can take one computer bank, plug the terminals, and all the data from one computer bank can go into another. But human beings start with fresh minds. You get a newborn child, he grows up completely blank. Input from parents, input from friends, input from teachers. But no input is as vivid, as long-lasting as his own experience. And because his experience is one of tranquility, of perpetual progress, from an atap shed to a 2-room flat, to a 4-room flat, to a point block flat, to a 5-room flat, to an HUDC, into the private housing estates. So he believes that that is the natural course of nature. It isn't so. You unscramble this. The confidence, the organization upon which Singapore thrives, and you've had it. You can bring us down as quickly, if not quicker, than Sri Lanka or Jamaica. Don't believe that because you can change governments at election time, they are going to progress. You won't, you know. So when you cast your vote, remember, it's sacred because it's something you can't change until the next 5 years, by which time irreparable harm would have been done.